It most certainly is. Endry could hear from behind him as he stepped into the light, unable to hear Rokel as she continued while he was contending with the rocking motion of the wagon while he knelt over the bench next to Rokel's husband Claren. Strictly Claren, as he preferred the name over any shortening or abbreviation, but was built noticeably taller than Endry. So much so, Endry could scarcely believe he could lay down comfortably in his own wagon, let alone stand in it. Claren had a full dark beard to match the color of the short but unkempt hair that never touched his ears. The beard also completely hid his lips, with the exception of the small pink line of his lower lip. The man's eyes seemed to have a permanent squint as far as Endry could tell, or at least he had not seen his host's eyes opened wide enough to determine their color in all the travel they had done together. Despite Claren's true face being largely hidden behind a mask of distinguishing features, he had an aura of warmth about him. It was still unexpected for Endry to see an aloe partnered with a human, a taboo formed out of the practicality of the world they had all been born into, as it was a coupling that could not produce children. A prohibition that boomed when the Cage City's doors were reopened and the beings that didn't want to devour its inhabitants were still very much in the minority. Not that Endry had ever known respect for these cultural inhibitions enforced by institutions that had long since sold their humanity in favor of a practicality he could never abide or give credence to. A disdain and question for authority that he was certain was the nature of his upbringing. He came from one of the earliest families to survive in the New World. Rushing from the safety of the single surviving city and the hypocritical, oppressive freedom it had embodied in the aching years since it had fell from its lofty seat in the glowing sky. Every settlement that had since sprouted acted like a beacon from its city's ideals, its signal strengthening as it grew in population. It was why Endry was always more comfortable on the road, in spite of the dangers it presented to those who were unprepared.